Hey there, RC Girl here. Today we're going to answer the question, can you fly on a commercial airline with your RC car, drone, boat, model aircraft, etc.? We're going to answer that question. Some of the regulations might actually surprise you. They surprised me. Today we're going to cover some frequently asked questions about how to safely travel on an airplane with your RC. Stay tuned. If you're new to my channel, here you're going to find RC reviews, tips and tricks, run videos, flight videos, and other things related to RC. So if you guys don't want to miss my future videos, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also head over to my Instagram, Facebook, and Patreon. And I want to do a special shout out to my growing community of patrons on Patreon: Sam Scowen, Daryl Makepeace, Lars Uwe Schubert, Paul Martins, and Michael Keller. Thanks for all your support. As we get into the busy holiday season, I thought it would be useful if I shared my research on how to safely travel with your RC. I've successfully traveled on an airplane with 2 of my RC crawlers before. This information really applies to any class of RC. There's no distinction from the FAA or TSA. So this applies to cars, crawlers, drones, boats, model aircraft, etc. This information largely applies to traveling domestic in the United States. I took this information from some trusted hobby sites and also TSA and FAA. However, this is not formal legal advice, so please do read up and understand all the regulations associated with your specific airline. All right, first and foremost, Lipo batteries. Are they allowed on commercial airlines? Yes, they are, surprisingly. Probably the most hazardous item that you're going to be traveling with. They are allowed on commercial airlines. However, they need to be carried with you in your carry-on luggage, walked onto the aircraft. So you cannot check them in your checked bag. You need to carry them with you in your carry-on. This includes any Lipo batteries, lithium batteries that are in any transmitters. Those need to be all taken out of your checked bag, carried with you onto the aircraft. And even if you have to check your bag at the gate, you need to remove those, make sure that they are walked on. A few other things, people have suggested that you storage charge them. Don't take them on fully charged. You're going to want to store them also in a Lipo-safe charge bag if possible. You also want to make sure that the terminals of your batteries, so the end part that you plug into stuff, that is secured and covered. You can do that via electrical tape by taping the ends, or I have these little silicone caps here that fit on my XT60s. That's going to make sure that they can't accidentally come into contact with metal, cause sparks, etc. There are no quantity limits, surprisingly, so you can take on as many as you want. However, they must be for personal use only. It cannot be for resale or redistribution. So for example, if you're traveling to an RC event and selling batteries, that is not allowed. They have to be for personal use only. What about cell count limits to your batteries? Can you take on 6S batteries? There actually are no cell count limits for Lipo batteries that you can take onto an aircraft. However, they do limit it to batteries that are rated to 100 watt hours or less. To find the watt hour rating, you can check on your Lipo batteries. Sometimes it's listed. I will also put a really quick calculation on the screen. You can calculate the watt hour rating yourself. Luckily, most RC batteries fall below the 100 watt hour. However, if they are above 100 watt hours, you can only bring on 2. What about transmitters? So your transmitter can be taken with you in your carry-on or in your checked bag. Unless it's powered by a lithium battery, you want to take that with you in your carry-on, as I mentioned previously. Because transmitters can be pricey, I like to take mine with me in my carry-on. I know that it's well protected. However, you can check it in your checked bag if you want to. People have also mentioned maybe don't call it a transmitter when you're walking through the TSA security line. That can raise some unnecessary red flags. Call it a radio, call it an RC controller. Don't want to get in trouble unnecessarily. Another thing I like to do, and this applies to all sorts of travel with your transmitter, I like to take the AAA or AA batteries out of the transmitters so that it's not accidentally turned on while it's shuffling around in your bag. I've had that happen before. It turns on, drains the full battery, so when you get to your location, your transmitter's dead. So take those out, put them back in when you get to your location. All right, so what about the model itself? I like to bring my RC crawlers with me in my carry-on, so again, I know that they are well protected. I take the wheels off, take the body off. That's going to be the most compact storage option. Put those nicely in a duffel bag. You can put it in the overhead bin or even in front of the seat in front of you. It's also been suggested that you bring any instructions manuals for your electronics with you. You can also download digital copies, have those easily accessible on your phone if you need to. If there's any issues whatsoever, you can easily pull up the instructions manuals and reference those. What about RC tools? So in some cases, those can be considered weapons. So just out of an abundance of caution, I would check those in a checked bag. What about RC chargers? So that is up to you. You can take those in your carry-on or you can put them in your checked bag. What about nitro RC? So I've heard conflicting recommendations here. I actually don't have any nitro RC myself. People have suggested to not travel with nitro RC if it is brand new, like you haven't put any nitro fuel in it yet, you're not traveling with any fuel, you can probably safely travel with that. If it has been used, I probably would not be traveling with the nitro RC on an airplane. However, I would double check that with your airline. If you guys have any additional questions, shoot me a comment below. I will try to answer as many as I can. And if you have any additional helpful travel tips on an airline or otherwise with your RC, feel free to share those below in a comment as well. I'm going to be doing some more tips and tricks videos coming, so if you guys don't want to miss those, make sure to like and subscribe. If you guys want to see my next recommended video, you can click on right over here, or see you later.